In this video, I'm going to talk about vision, creativity, and Lightroom. I will show you some of your edits of this photo for the Lightroom Challenge ARP. I will also show you how I did my own edit of that photo to end up with this result. And finally, I have a new challenge. So stay tuned because we have a lot to talk about. Welcome to my channel. Here I talk about photography and I make videos just like this one where I share my thoughts about vision and creativity. So if you're here for the first time, it might be a good idea to subscribe. By the way, I've been repeating this intro for a while. I wonder if you're getting tired of hearing it. If that's the case, and if you think that it's time to change it, please let me know in the comments below. For the rest of this video, I'm moving to my studio. And here we are in my studio. Lightroom, vision, creativity. I think that the last Lightroom challenge is giving me a perfect opportunity to talk about this. And first of all, I want to thank all you guys that took part to this challenge. I saw over 200 different edits to my photos, which I really think is fantastic. And this really demonstrates that the creativity process doesn't stop when we press the shutter button. Actually, and it happened for me, sometimes it starts there. So let me show you this. Every single edit is different. Sometimes slightly different, sometimes dramatically different. And this is why I loved the idea of creating this challenge, as I knew that it was going to prove how important it is our own vision in the editing process, and how creativity plays a major role in this process. As you can imagine, it was very difficult for me to pick a few images to show you amongst all these edits. Nevertheless, I selected 3. Let's have a look. So I saved 3 images. They are pretty different in crop and colors, for sure, from my edit, and possibly that's why I selected them. Let's see the first one. First one is by Jan Toms 7723, and I thought this is crazy, and that's why I selected. Jan went with a very interesting red color, and it's very cool to see how different this edit can be from my own vision. And this, in the end, is what makes all of us so unique in terms of seeing. The next edit is by Arte Photography. And I really like the mood of this image. I like the details. I like the color tones. Again, this is a very different vision from mine. Nevertheless, beautiful. And the last edit that I picked is by labeth.lkl. And Labeth did 4 different edits of this photo, and this is the one I like the most. Here we have another color treatment, lovely orangey yellowish tones. I saw a lot of green photos, and I appreciate a creative approach like this. Very well done. By the way, all these accounts have amazing galleries, so I really encourage you to check them out. Thanks to everyone else again. I love how engaged this community is, and I also really like the idea that on this channel the viewer is not passively watching but becomes also part of the content. And if this works for you too, I will try to engage you more and more in the future. But now let's go back to the waterfall shot for a second, as I think that to close that chapter I need to tell you why I went for this edit and how I did the edit in Lightroom. When I launched this challenge, I mentioned that I wasn't super happy with my shot, but mainly I wasn't super happy with the environment that I found when I arrived to this location. There was people everywhere, It was super busy. There was definitely too much going on to create a minimalistic and serene image, which most of the time is my ultimate interpretation of a place. So my first decision was to go for a black and white image. Although from the images we saw before, I noticed that a lot of you guys could bring quite a lot of colors out of this image. My vision was different. I wanted to see less, I wanted to simplify, and I thought the black and white could work better. And in order to see less, I tried to create a very contrasty image. And so amongst the different exposures that I took, I decided to edit these very underexposed image because I thought it was going to be easier to increase the contrast and create that mood that I was searching for. And this is a look that I use in my work from time to time. But now, let's edit this photo in Lightroom. I mentioned this before. This shot was taken in the Columbia River Gorge in Oregon. And now, I will do a quick edit. I will be maybe a little rough because I don't want this video to last forever. So let's get started. First of all, I will crop this image a little bit. I want to center the waterfall. So I will keep the original aspect ratio and I will just crop it a tiny bit and move the waterfall to the center of my frame. Done that, I will open the basic panel and immediately I will change the white balance. As you can see, the image is a little bluish because I used the neutral density filter. Once I change that, I will also change the profile and I will use an Adobe monochrome. If you have a later version of Lightroom, just select black and white on the top right corner of the basic panel. Then I will increase the contrast quite a bit. And already you can see that almost the entire picture, because it's so underexposed, is kind of disappearing. I will not touch the highlights at this time, but I will decrease the blacks and I will increase the whites. A little bit of clarity, a little bit of dehaze, and I will move to the tone curve. Here I will select a strong contrast, and if I open the black and white panel, I will decrease the reds a little bit. I will decrease the orange, and look what happens when I decrease the yellows. Boom. Basically, the top left corner completely disappears. Awesome. I'm not going to touch the split toning. I will open the details where I will put my sharpening amount at 35, decrease the radius 0.6, and increase the details at 95, which basically is the standard that I use for landscape photography. I will, of course, mask the sharpening, holding the Alt key and moving the slider to the right. Whatever is white will be touched by the sharpening, whatever is black will not. And I will move it to 64. I'm going to move to the Effects panel, and I will create a little post-crop vignetting, and as you can see right now, I can see only the waterfall and the bridge. Everything else is gone. Now that I'm done with the general adjustments, I will do some local adjustments. Using a brush tool, double-click on effects to reset all the adjustments. I will decrease the exposure and the highlights in order to create a brush that will completely get rid of all the little white dots that I have on the top left corner. And if this doesn't do, I will need to go in and with the healing brush, I basically will make sure that everything is gone. I will create a new brush because I want to get rid of some disturbing elements on the bridge. I will be a little rough, but basically what I will do here, I will decrease the exposure, decrease the highlights and the blacks, and I will go in and erase these this white shirt. And now I will create another brush because I want to show the bridge a little more than what we are seeing right now. So again, reset all the adjustments, and I will increase the highlights and the shadows, the whites and the clarity, and also the sharpness. And then I will roughly, this time, go in onto the bridge and try to bring in a little more details. Done that, basically I want to do something similar with a waterfall and emphasize the water flow, because of course in this high contrasty image I lost as well some details from the water itself. So to do that, I will create another brush, and I will increase the shadows, I will increase the whites, I will increase also a little bit the aperture, and I might correct that later, increase the clarity, and go in and start painting. And after a lot of painting, here's my final image. I was very happy with the final result. I still am. I sold this image multiple times, which is always good. And as you saw before, I also have one print in my home. So I guess I really like it. But now it's time for a new challenge. And this time I'm going to edit your photos. So if you want to take part to this new Lightroom challenge, it's very simple. Post the before and after of an image of yours. Hashtag Lightroom Challenge U. Of course, remember to tag me at Rufo Photography, and in a few weeks I will select a few of those images. I will contact you to receive the raw file, and I will make a video while editing those photos. Of course, afterwards I will send you my edits of those photos, and clearly those images belong to you. Before saying goodbye, I would like to pick your brain on a couple of things. First of all, if you have any suggestions for a future challenge, don't be shy, share it with me, write it in the comment below. Then I would like to know what you think about creating an interactive Facebook group. I do like Instagram for Lightroom challenges or photo assignments, but at the same time I like to have a platform where everyone can share their work, share their photos, and the entire community can interact with each other. So if you think that this could be a good idea, or if you have other thoughts about making this channel as interactive as it can be, I would love to know. This is the vision that I have for this channel. More and more I would like to create a very interactive community. It is very important to me to understand your thoughts and your expectations from a channel like this, and so thanks for your help. And this is really all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will let me know. So hit that like button, leave me a comment, and if you didn't yet, maybe this is the right time to subscribe. And for those of you that celebrate Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I will be in Italy with my family and friends. Awesome food. It's the best Christmas I can wish for. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
On, this is just the same song. I am such a head case. You are just a broken starlet. In my nuclear vision, I see more repetition, an explosion than a brand new project.